Hello. Is it starting? Dang. Hello. Thanks for joining us here. Mellon Fights. Today is May 9th, 2022. I am Drew,
I am Tara.
and this is a sports and entertainment podcast. This is episode 6. Um, Still kind of working out some kinks. Hopefully, some people are listening. I know some people are listening that are friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people that don't know us are listening at all. They may not be. They may not be. We'll find out, I guess. But yeah. So, Tara, as a sports entertainment podcast, a lot of times we start off with NBA stuff or things like that. But let's start off with the assignment I gave you last week, and it's Terminator. You watched Terminator? Did you watch Terminator?
I did watch Terminator. I watched it last night, and
Mm-hmm.
it was it was a trip. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's really fun to go back and watch the retro movies, the 80s movies, because they have just such a cool vibe to them. Um, the special effects were insane. Like whenever there was lightning and time travel, it just was
Yeah.
super bogus, but like
Yeah.
in the best kind of way.
Right.
Um,
Um. So was it what you thought it was going to be? Was Terminator what you thought it was going to be?
Not at
Or were
all.
you surprised? Really?
Yeah, because I thought that Arnold was a good guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be like the helper, not the herder. Um, so it was crazy to me. But other than that, like it was what I thought it was gonna be in terms of him just John Wick and everybody.
He was John Wicking everybody. I don't know what that
Yeah.
means.
It means that he's just taking everybody out like crazy. Just
I guess it doesn't really have a John
yeah.
Wick vibe to it. It's just like mass murder. It's almost like it's like mass. It's like really creepy. It's like when he walks into that club and like starts
Oh
blowing
yeah.
people away. That was like disturbing. Like it's a horror.
I
The first
know.
Terminator is a horror movie, which a lot of people I don't think realize. That's a horror movie, Tara.
I know because it said rated R for frightening scenes, and I was kind of like, I've never seen that. And then it also said
For
for nudity, and I thought that it was going to be
some boobs and
women
bush.
only. And then like second scene, you got to see Arnold's donger
Arnold
for like
Dong.
for just a brief
Yeah.
second, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, Arnold Donger's out."
Yeah, it's good. It's a wild movie. Like the guy that's like the hero of the movie is
Kyle
awesome in
Reese.
that movie. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
good in that movie. I thought he was going to be a big star when I was a kid. I thought he was a big star, I guess, when I was a kid because that movie came out. I was like real young, and I didn't probably see it till had been out for 8 years or something like that. Um, but yeah, so Terminator. What about the actress lead?
I liked her. I thought she was really pretty. And I feel like I've seen just like pictures of her before and I didn't
Yeah.
think she was that like attractive, but in the movie she was really pretty and I think
Oh
she
yeah.
did a really good job. I think the I was like so confused with
By
like
what part?
I was trying to figure out like the time travel and like if because I'm assuming in the end that John Connor's dad was Reese,
Yeah.
but like he already had her picture and John Connor didn't really tell Reese a ton about like his dad, but like
Yeah.
gave him the picture. So I just was all kinds of like trying to figure out what the times table was and like if he'd
Well,
been back there before
that's the
to
insinuation is that
impregnate her. What?
yeah, that's what they insinuate is that been the dad the whole time. Like basically, the idea is like you can't really change. That's what was gonna happen, sort of thing. Like time travel can't really change the past. Is kind of the
Yeah.
idea, sort of thing. It was all for naught. basically, which, you'll see, obviously, since there's Terminator 2 and many other Terminators. Um, and the
Well,
same guy makes Terminator 2, which is good because that doesn't happen a lot. And he's like actual an awesome director.
I thought that Arnold was gonna become good because they kept saying there's like all these like things where they're like machines don't have hearts, but then like the roommate had it was like a voicemail and it said something like this is the machine, but leave a message because machines need love too, something like that. So I'm like, oh, does Arnold fall in love with Sarah Connor? No, is the answer. He wanted to kill her big time.
No, he was not changing in that movie. He was a relentless killer.
Yeah. I
Uh,
also didn't realize the reason that he wore the sunglasses is because he like pulled his eyeball out and you could see that he was a
sure,
cyborg.
yeah.
So that
That scene's
and
crazy. How crazy does
yeah,
that look? It was like
it's
super
so
fake, but super awesome at the same time.
I know. I loved it. And I really love how like I'll be back became like the like the thing that you know from that
Yeah,
movie, and it's just such a funny it was actually just like really funny and like not like
yeah,
a because I always thought it was like a cool thing, but it was like, oh, this was like a comedy thing where
yeah. He's like
he
literally,
says
"I'll be back."
and then
hmm
runs into the police station with a car. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that scene's wild. When he just destroys the police station and just
Oh
fucking
my,
kills every cop in there.
everybody.
It's
Yes,
insane. It's
it was crazy.
like people are obsessed with Terminator 2 and they like think it's this great movie, and it is, but I think Terminator 1 is better. I just do. I just think it's such an original idea. Like don't get
Hmm.
me wrong, Terminator 2 is slick, but it gets cheesier than 1. There's some really like he in the second one he I'm not going to tell you cuz I'm going to make you watch it at some point. I won't make it be your next thing, but you need to watch it at some point, I would say. Um
Yeah,
but well
I loved
basically I'll
it.
just in the second one he comes they go to save
John,
the John as a kid, like he's more grown up, and that he's the one he's trying to save. So it's worth checking out. We'll
I'll
probably
watch
have you
it.
watch it at some point. Maybe just watch it on your own, and then I won't have to. And you'll let me know, hey, I finally watched Terminator 2, sort of thing. Um,
Yeah. Two
cool. So
thumbs
that
up.
that was your assignment. Oh, two thumbs up.
Another goodie.
Two thumbs up. All right. Two thumbs from Tara. I
Two
don't think you say
thumbs.
it's just two thumbs from you, Tara. Can't stay
Okay.
two thumbs up. It's already someone's thing. So you're just two thumbs.
They get two thumbs.
There you go. Uh cool. So you did that. I didn't really have an assignment. I was home for the weekend to visit the fam. It was Mother's Day. So that was fun. Happy Mother's Day, Mom, if you're listening to this. Happy Mother's Day to every mom out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, moms. Ooh, okay, real quick. I'm gonna pose a question.
Okay.
Top three. This is gonna be I'm only gonna go three, so you don't have to think a bunch. Top three TV moms for you. Don't think overthink it, just be fast about it.
Ah! Um,
Um
Claire Dunphy.
Claire Dunphy from Modern Family.
From Modern Family.
Why?
Just because she's like funny
Yeah,
and I don't know. I like her.
cool. Insightful.
I know.
Insightful.
That's the first mom I thought of, but I really I do like her a lot. The mom from Good Luck Charlie, I love
The
her.
mom from Good Luck Charlie. Do you know her name?
Yes.
Or is she just the mom from Good Luck Charlie?
I think she's gonna just be the mom from Good Luck Charlie because
What do you like about her?
she was such a fun mom and like she was really funny, but also loved her kids. And I saw a lot of myself in her if I were to ever become a parent because she was also like
Mm-hmm.
hyper competitive about like silly little things, not like important
Sure.
things, which I feel like that's where my competitiveness lies in silly things.
Sure. And number three, don't
Um,
overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Number three is Jesus, I can't even think of moms. I'm bad at quick
Just think of a
things.
show and name that mom then. Think of a show and just pick that mom.
Um,
Any show. Name a show.
I can't
Name,
even
name
name
a
a
TV
show.
show.
I
Can you name a
can't do
TV show? You know
it. The Rugrats. Phil
the
and Lil's
Rugrats mom.
mom. No,
Yeah.
Phil and
Oh,
Lil's
Phil and
mom.
Lil's mom. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
because she's just
She did
like
it.
she is a woman and she knows that she's a badass and she's like wears the pants and she's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's funny as a kid for some reason, even though she was married, I always thought
Yeah.
she was a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
But
there
she
was a husband, for
wasn't.
some reason I thought she was a lesbian for years. And I'm like, oh wait, she wasn't a lesbian. She was just cool,
The
like the
gen
woman.
It was like the
Yeah,
gender roles of that family were switched
yeah,
because the dad was very meek and
yeah. Hmm.
unassuming. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then she was kind of a badass and like kind of
She
like
was.
thick,
She was
kind of an athlete.
thick.
She was like an athlete, wasn't she?
She
She was always
was.
like,
She always wore like workout gear and was always working out. Oh, that's definitely me. Thick, working out.
that's funny. That's pretty good. 3. Do you want my 3? I guess I could probably come
Yeah.
up with 3. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why I did that to myself. I should just let it pass. I will go with Georgia from Ginny and Georgia.
Oh,
Because she's
good mom.
cool, but she's also like smoking hot. Like
Yeah.
she's like smoking hot, but also like a super cool mom. Definitely will do anything for her daughter.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Ginny and Georgia out there, I can see a lot of people that listen to not be Ginny and Georgia watchers. Give it a watch.
Probably.
It's got some. It's cheesy, but also any scene with Georgia's a win.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
beautiful. And what's crazy is she plays the mom, and the girl that is her daughter is like 3 years younger than her in real
is
life.
that true?
Yeah.
I didn't think I knew that. Well,
Yeah.
she's so like developed as a woman, and then Ginny is just kind of like she's like a tiny petite girl. So
Mm-hmm.
she could probably play a teenager her whole life. Like she's that
Yeah.
sort of girl. Like you know how that goes. Um, I don't know what that means. You know how that goes.
You know that goes.
Shit. And then I will say uh the mom from why am I blanking? Man, I did this to myself, Tara, and I was
Oh,
giving you all
you
sorts of
did.
shit.
I know.
Uh
Just think of
I,
a TV show and
I
say
will
the mom.
say Gloria from I can't do Clara, so I'll do Gloria from
Oh,
Modern Family because she's
she's
smoking
a good
hot.
mom. Oh God.
No, because but she's also hilarious. But she's also a good mom. She
Mm-hmm.
basically lets her kid be an eccentric weirdo and
Mm-hmm.
totally supports him and kind of like almost uh her his detriment, like lets him get away with all sorts of bullshit. But I really like her in it. She's good.
Okay.
And then
One more. One more.
the final one I will say is George Costanza's mom. She's
Because she's smoking
hilarious
hot.
because she's smoking hot. I bet she was pretty good looking at one point in her life.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name in it. Estelle? No.
Estelle. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I
Estelle.
think so.
Anyway, Costanza's mom, and because she's just so funny and overreacts, like she's so dramatic. So
Mm-hmm.
those are my 3 TV moms. Those are your 3 TV moms. That's a pretty good 6 TV moms, if you
Mm-hmm.
ask me. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So let's bounce over to. Actually, what do you want to go to next? I'll let you pick where we talk about next.
Do you want to talk Kentucky Derby?
We can talk about Kentucky Derby and the 10 seconds of I saw of it on TikTok.
You saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, I saw the end on TikTok, like the last stretch on TikTok. That's all I've seen of it.
Well, the thing about it is, like, you have seen more of it than I have, but I did
Oh,
read some articles about it.
so you've seen none of it.
I did not see any of it, but I did read an article or two about it and
Sure.
heard some
That's the
little.
best. Everyone knows that's the best way to take in the Kentucky Derby. Is read a couple articles about it.
Well, I forgot that it happened,
Mm-hmm.
and then well, I didn't forget. I knew that it was happening, but I just didn't care.
We don't care. We don't care about it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it seems just like a. I don't know. I mean, it's like I think it's something that if you were there, it would be fun to watch. But just watching it on TV,
Yeah, to be a part of the event would be
yes.
cool. But other than that, I don't. Why would I want? If I was betting on it, sure.
Right. Well, what's so crazy is last year's was so dramatic with like the Medina spirit and how
Was that just last year?
yeah, it was just last year. So I was kind of expecting to just hear more, and I feel like people were hyped about it because um I don't know why they seemed so hyped about it, but they were. And I was hearing more interviews with people that were involved in the Kentucky Derby. And then the whole thing happened with Medina Spirit. And then Medina Spirit died like a little bit after. And the thing about that is it was only like, it wasn't even 4 years old. The horse wasn't even 4 years old. So that Bob Baffert, he is not a good guy.
I don't know when I don't
That's
remember Medina. What is it, Medina Spirit?
yeah,
I don't
because
remember
it
them dying. The
y-
horse dying after that. What did they
well,
die of?
a heart attack
Oh,
or
like
it
they
like
push
just
it too, like
collapsed.
they push him
Yeah.
too hard or something. Was Medina the
Well,
Spirit where the one they thought that it may have caught someone off at the end and they had to go review it? Or
no.
was that the year
Medina
before?
Spirit's Medina Spirit's the one that like got his Kentucky Derby taken away because of
Drugs.
performance enhancing drugs.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was the year before. Was what I was talking about. I was thinking of where they challenged it because they thought they cut him off and it was illegal.
Mhm.
And that was like one of the first big events after COVID started.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't watch horse racing. It's weird. It's such a strange because they are so like be like, oh, they really treat these animals great. It's like, not really.
No.
Just because they feed them and like take really good care of them doesn't mean they do also put an insane amount of stress
Yeah.
on their bodies. At the same time, when everyone knows stress is like the biggest killer like in the world, like
Yeah.
that's not just for humans, that's going to be for an animal as well.
Mhm.
And these horses are giant beasts that are running as hard as they can until they die, basically.
Yeah, I
I,
agree.
I mean, I'm not super educated on it, but it's kind of
No,
what I
that
get
something
from the
about it just feels like a little like not great. Um, but the winner, we should say who the winner was this year to give them their flowers.
sure
And
80
it
to 1,
was
80 to 1 odds.
I know how and they he wasn't even supposed to race.
What was his name?
His name was Rich Strike.
Rich Strike.
Yep,
It's quite the name.
Rich Strike.
Doesn't sound like
And
a horse name at all.
I don't think so either. Rich Strike.
Interesting. Yeah, flowers. I guess we say that. It's the first time I've ever said flowers for somebody. I think you say it every week, but
I probably do because it's just
because
I
of
like
podcasts
to.
and things you listen to, like to make that joke. So I think it's in your brain that flowers is the thing you have to give people.
Oh well, I also watch just sports, TV, talk
Sports.
TV, and a lot of like basketball. People like to talk about giving flowers.
Yeah, it's lame. It's super lame. But yeah, the horse. I didn't watch any of the Derby. It's not my thing. I'm not really big into gambling anyway. But I just love like
No,
how proud these guys are. Like, oh, this is my horse. He's not the guy that trained it. He just is the guy that bought it, and then he
right,
takes credit for the horse winning a race. Like, fuck off, bro.
right,
That's like as dumb as like not as dumb, but like when at least a parent raises a child, but like when someone like LeBron James wins, it's not he did all the work. His mom can't take credit for that. She can take a little bit because she raised him, I guess, but
yeah,
still, it's different. I
she,
guess that's a bad
yeah,
example.
that was. I'm like,
But
she can
that's
take credit.
parental pride is different. I'm trying to think
Hmm.
of a better example. It's like it's kind of like when a fan takes credit for it's basically if I take credit for the Bucks winning if
Yeah,
they win the championship, it'd be about like that. Like that's as much as I have to do with it, basically. Um, it's stupid horse racing. I hope someone's pissed now
I know.
at my really hot take. All the 7 people that listen to us.
Give us a little more credit than that.
That's true. We might as well talk about the NBA. It is that time. We do talk about it every week. So those of you that don't like the NBA talk, skip ahead a little bit. I'm not sure. I haven't figured out how to put the timestamps in yet. we can skip to past things, but I will figure that out. Um, so NBA is going on. We might as well, we're the official Youngster podcast.
We are the official
Youngster,
Youngster.
Giannis the Adonis aren't taken off yet. I haven't heard anyone throw it out there
Other than us, nope.
other than us. So if you are a listener, start doing it.
Yeah.
Get it going.
Hashtag
What do you
it.
wait? Hashtag it. Hashtag Youngster. Hashtag Giannis the Adonis. Like, what are you waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
Be a part of something. Make a
The
difference.
beginning. Be a part of the
Be a
beginning.
part of something in the beginning, so you can be like, oh, I was calling him Youngster from the start. Me and my pals started it. Youngster, Giannis the Adonis. Of course, Miranda's friends were all like, oh, I like Giannis the Adonis better.
They're wrong.
They're wrong. I love Giannis the Adonis as a nickname.
It's good, but
love it. But Youngster flows. It's quick. It's quick and easy, and it's a real nickname. It's a nickname.
Exactly.
Like if you had a friend, you wouldn't lengthen their name for their nickname. You'd be like,
no.
You always shrink it down. So Giannis, the Greek freak, just becomes the Youngster. I feel like it's like a twist on that.
Yeah, it's just the natural progression.
But the Bucks won.
Barely.
And they won barely. It's a tough series to watch. They're just I don't want to say the referees are doing bad because it's almost the way both teams are playing is so physical. I don't want to be one of those fans who's like, oh, the refs fucking suck, because that's boring. It's not ever a good take. But it's physical, and there's frustrating moments while I'm watching it, and it's driving me nuts. And they just, they're calling things different on Giannis than they did earlier in the year, but he's so good, it doesn't even seem to matter.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the team has been letting him down. I got to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I came in pretty hot with my takes on the Bucks on our last pod, where I was saying that they were 4-0. They were going to win it all.
Yeah, you bucks in 4 it. You had a couple bad picks. You said Bucks in 4, and you said well, you know what? Bucks in 4 isn't going to happen. I still am alive at Bucks in 5, but you did say Dallas in 6. That still could happen.
I know.
Now that it's tied.
I was like, oh my gosh. When like the first 2 games happened, I was just like, I'm not allowed to make predictions anymore because I'm terrible at them, and I was not doing a very good job. But as things are starting to work their way through, I think that I'm looking a little bit better in shape. But I really was like so high on the Bucks, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're bench players and they're role playing guys. They're doing what they need to do. They're awesome. They're the best." And they have not been showing up at all. Like their 3 game is pretty bad.
No, it's rough. They're missing Middleton for sure. But yeah, it's not that fun to watch, honestly. The series
no
has been
flow
rough to watch. No flow to the games at all. It's really been annoying. Hopefully the home game tonight, my prediction tonight is the Bucks do win tonight, and they win decently. I think they win. I think that tonight the role players do hit some shots and if they're hitting shots, there's no way that the Bucks are losing, because Giannis is going to get what he gets.
Yeah.
So that's my take on tonight.
I think they will too. I just hope it's a much more fun game to watch, because I don't want to always like blame stuff on the officiating, but it just has not been great, and
it's bad everywhere.
I think I know it is everywhere, and I also I think I like the most hated team is always the team the Bucks are playing against in the playoffs. So right now I pretty much hate everybody on the Celtics and their floppy ways, and they're just like, I just got hit in the face and I'm gonna be injured for like I'm gonna act like I'm super injured and then go out and not even sit out and play. It's just so annoying.
That's why I want to talk about it. Actually, I do have a grievance this week, and it's just the way these guys. It's a couple things. It's all connected. It's the way these guys are acting like they're injured after plays, and then also after there's an injury or like a play where it's maybe like a flagrant foul or something like that, and then the way these guys are talking about it afterwards, like it's the most dramatic thing that's ever happened, up until the culmination, which is the Ja Morant knee injury, that they're acting like Jordan Poole was like aggressively trying to hurt him when it was just kind of in the flow of a swipe, and his hand, as he swiped, his hand hit the knee, and as it carried through, it kind of pulled on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, it's just that's called a foul. It wasn't like he was trying to rip your knee out. Like that would be fucking insane. And it's just the way they're talking like afterwards, this code thing, and like Steve Kerr's done it a couple times this
Yeah.
year, and it's like just like shut the fuck up. Like both your guy, sorry to tell you, Steve Kerr did the dirtiest play of the playoffs so far, and that
Mm-hmm.
was hitting a guy in the face and then trying to drag him down. And people are trying to like downplay that, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? He got lucky that he caught him. Otherwise, that
Yeah.
guy's landing on his face. He's lucky he caught him. Like he realized his mistake at the last second. Otherwise, he's landing on his face. So
Yeah.
that's
It
my
was
take.
it was super dirty, and I agree. It's just like Steve Kerr saying that codes
Brooks.
were broken or whatever, like, and I think that like when Ja said that, I think he was just kind of like saying it back to Steve Kerr, and I don't really think
Oh, I
he
agree.
thinks that. Like I think
I
he was just
agree.
like, "Oh, like give me
I
a
agree.
break."
When I thought
But
about it, I think he was saying the same thing. I do
but I
agree.
think that like some people are
Oh yeah,
in that camp.
the coach said something to him a little bit at the press conference, and it's just like, he says, "You guys are all a bunch of whiny pussies. Like, what are we talking about? Like, go play ball. Like, go play some basketball. This isn't that shut up." And I'm not talking about shut up and dribble, because
No,
you're allowed to
exactly.
talk about things you care about, but just to be whiny about referees and like not getting the call and act like everyone's the dirtiest player in town, when you're all pretty much kind of playing with the same intensity. Let's be honest. Everyone's playing
Yeah.
with that same sort of like it's a
It's
very
playoffs
physical
basketball.
playoff so far. Yeah, and they really seem to have turned it up this year.
Mhm.
And the referees are letting them get away with a bunch of it. Now everyone's complaining about it. All they just complained about in the last few years is how like it hasn't been physical. It's like, just shut up
Right.
and make up your mind. Like that's why I'm trying not to complain too much about the Bucks Celtics. I just think they've been really inconsistent too. These referees.
They've been
Um,
inconsistent, but like part of it isn't like even the refs. It's just like the way these guys are playing, and it's like they're acting like, oh, something flagrant happened, so then they have to
yeah,
go and
every time.
check the
Mm-hmm.
monitor, and it's like, oh my gosh, because they're like sitting there on the ground. Like I was
Well,
watching the game
that
last
that
night.
Cameron Payne one yesterday, where Cameron Payne flopped after no one hit him. Like
Yeah.
he got hit and then he kind of looked over and didn't get a call and then flew
Yeah.
backwards while not
Yeah.
getting hit. It's like, you suck, bro. You should get a flagrant foul or a technical foul for that. That'll get rid of a lot of it.
Yeah, and like a similar thing happened in the Heat 76ers. I can't think of who it was, but Bam like went up for a rebound and like came back down and barely like touched the guy in the throat area. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
nothing. And the guy waited a second and then did the same little flap thing, and
Right.
they had to stop it. And then they called like a timeout or whatever, so then they couldn't review it, and then the guy went right back into the game like he wasn't hurt
Right.
at all, and he was acting like he was on the ground, like, and the medical team came to check on him, and then when you watch the replay it's like, oh, he didn't even get touched. It was just a normal
Yeah.
contact type of situation.
Well, yeah, you said something. There was a point where Bobby Portis came down on a rebound, and in the act of it, his arm kind of hit Robert Williams's face. But in the moment, we're like, is he even hurt? Like, because everyone's doing so much of that, we're like, I don't even buy it. And then we saw it, and it had happened.
Yeah.
But we can't. But we question every single one, because every single time these guys are grabbing at something like they're hurt, and it's just like, get up. And like I said, Giannis doesn't grab at things like he's hurt. He does lay there sometimes, but
Mhm.
we've all agreed that's because he's exhausted. He's like,
Yeah.
this will give me a couple seconds. There's
Yeah.
no reason to like pretend like someone hurt you. Like grow a pair of balls, man, or
And
cut off
I
your balls, because women are tougher. I don't care. Whatever way you want to say that.
Exactly. Women are tougher because
Maybe.
I think back on my playing days and I was like I'm only 5 feet tall and most people were at least 5 to 12 inches taller than me. And I got hit a bunch of times and I never pretended I was hurt. I like took it as a badge that I could
Well, I think that was like
like
high school players in general. Like high school boys
mhm.
were the same way too. It's like you get fucking smoked and you just get up like, yeah, fuck you. I'm a
Yeah.
badass still. Like that was just the way you did it. You like you acted tougher. You know,
Yeah.
like they need to change the culture of the NBA where they're not trying to get calls. It needs to go
Yes.
away. They need to figure out. They need to punish it. If you're trying to get a call, it needs to like not. It needs to be a technical. Like it's awful basketball. Awful basketball.
It is cuz it slows it down and it makes it like if especially if you're trying to foul out like
And
a
yeah,
important player, it's like how fun is it to watch a series without Giannis playing or without Chris Paul playing? Like it's
yeah,
not
right.
fun.
And it's only at the NBA level. You know, you
Mhm.
don't see that in college, and you don't see it in high school. So why are they doing it in the pros? Like, why? What's the benefit? To get a couple of calls? Because I think it's time to get rid of it. It sucks. That's my gripe. That's my grievance. It's bullshit. I'm tired
That's
of
a
it.
that's a good grievance.
Thank you. Grievance.
That's your first grievance.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
just the first one I came in with that I wanted. I hated April and I hate
Oh.
those softball tournaments, if you recall.
That's all right.
Hmm.
All right.
Yep. And May is starting to feel a little bit like April, even though this week's supposed to be beautiful.
I know.
I'm pretty fucking excited about it. Hey guys, you want to know something crazy about the word fuck? My mom, first of all, says crazy shit all the time. That's very inappropriate. I'm not even going to tell you what she was saying yesterday on Mother's
I was
Day.
like, don't you dare.
Um, so m- mom, my mom gets so mad at me when I say fuck, and I don't even say it that much, honestly, on a normal day to day basis. But when I go home, for some reason, I say it a lot,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's just to piss her off, like subconscious wants to piss her off. But her take, and I think this is the craziest take of all time. Like I'll say it to be silly, like let's go eat some fucking Cheetos, baby. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
But her take is that you should only say fuck when you're angry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That's the worst time to say fuck. Like if
I
you're saying fuck out of anger, it's terrible. Like, hey, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's
yeah.
bad.
It's like you
That's
need
when
to
fuck. That's when
check
fuck
yourself.
seems. Yeah, to me,
Yeah.
that's when the F word. When fuck is used in anger,
You
it
got a
is
problem.
you got a problem. That's when it's
Yeah.
bad. When someone's just saying it flippantly, like who gives a shit? That takes
Right.
away the vulgarness of it. It's not vulgar. It's only vulgar when you're saying it angrily, or you'd be like, "I'm gonna fuck that bitch."
Oh God.
I started laughing because I knew you were gonna like not like it, but
No.
but no, but that's when it's like fuck when you say fuck out of anger. This is a lot of fucks. Holy
It's a
shit!
lot
Explicit.
explicit for real.
Turn the radio down, guys. We might have to. It's too late.
It's
It's
too
too
late.
late.
We've gone too far.
But anyway, that's my mom's take. Is the F word out of anger is the only way you should say it. Otherwise, it's vulgar, which is fucking insane.
Well, she's full of shit too, though, because the other, like, we were driving the other day, and we got up to a traffic light, and she goes, "We've been here fucking long." And I was like, I go, was that anger, mom? And she goes, "Yeah, it was."
Yeah, she is full of shit.
So
She's
she's
so
a
full of shit sometimes.
liar. It's just
She just
we.
wants to hassle me. She just wants to hassle me.
Oh,
There's no
definitely
reason. It's
wants to
just like,
hassle you.
just leave me alone.
Hmm.
I can say the F word. I'm 37. I can say the F word. Um, so that's my Mother's Day take. Uh,
Kind of off of like, cause you had your little mother's thing with TV, and
yeah.
I actually thought of something too. But mine's like more of a sports TV movie
What's up?
question. So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking I did top five, but that could take a long time. So we'll stick with three. What are the top 3 fictitious sports teams you would want to be a part of?
Be a
And
part of. Okay.
yeah, and it can either
That
be as
changes
an
it.
it
That
can
makes it
either
better.
be as an adult or as a kid. So whatever, and it could be TV
TV or movies.
or movies. Yes.
Whew, dang. That's good. Um,
Mhm.
I think number one for me would be um Little Giants. I'd want to be a
Ooh.
little giant now. No. I'd want to be a little giant as a kid. Uh it just seemed like the best football game in the history of football games. Everyone in town wanted to watch them. There was a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I want to be a little giant too. I want to beat the Cowboys, even though I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
It just like, it was a
The
cool team.
underdog.
They're the underdog. And they just had a cool vibe. It'd have been fun to be like playing linebacker with me and Icebox together playing
Yeah.
linebacker, roaming the field. That'd be a lot of fun. So that's my number one. Maybe
I
this is
like
maybe
it.
not in order. So Little Giants, and then I probably would want to be on the this is hard. I'm trying to think of maybe a different sport, basketball or football, baseball. I would want to be on the Angels in the outfield Angels.
Ooh.
Because it was clearly like must have been wild because all of a sudden you would just have like abilities like that were outer, godly basically.
Yeah, you could
So that,
fly.
yeah, you could like make the most amazing plays and that just seems like a fun time. So apparently I really like my childhood sports
Mhm.
teams. And then the third one I'll go with uh I would say, man, you know what? My third one I'd be the football team from Friday Night Lights. Um the
TV
Panthers.
show or
The
the
show.
movie?
The
Okay.
show. Because there was years of because I'd want 4 years. 4 years on varsity I'd want. Um because every game was a nail biter. That's fun. Every game was like a nail biter and fun, and there was drama around it. And coach, I mean, to have Coach Taylor as your coach, whew, and then his sleeper. This is my this honorable mention for mom, TV mom, Tammy Taylor, smoking hot and awesome, like the best. So that's my top three, and that's my fourth, maybe even my favorite TV mom.
Ooh.
So, do you have a list?
Oh, I wrote a lot of them down.
So pick three because that's what we're doing. We're gonna be
Okay.
that'll be our thing. We do top threes. Everyone does five or four. We're doing three.
Okay, so I would say number 3 would be I had some that were yours, so I'm just going to not have those. Number 3 is the Mighty Ducks 2 team.
Two, the USA team.
Yes, the USA team. They just
Hell yeah,
there
hell
seemed
yeah.
to be a little bit more drama the original. So the 2 was fun because it had people from all over the world or the
Hmm.
US coming
And you were
to
world
play.
famous.
World famous, exactly. Um so that's definitely my number 3. My number 2 would be Glow.
Oh, you'd want to wrestle
Mm,
and glow. I guess that's
yes.
a sports team. I'll give that to you.
It's definitely a sports
It's
team.
entertainment, but I'm giving it to you.
Sports and entertainment. That's what
Yeah,
wrestling is.
yeah. I'm giving it to
So,
you. I gave it to
okay,
you.
good. Because I just think that looks like the most fun is like, if I had to, honestly, if I had to pick a sport to do, and I could like go back in time, I would start to be like a wrestler because they look like they're
Professional wrestler.
having a professional wrestler. They
But
look
what
like they're
about when
having
they
the most
ask
fun.
you to get power bombed onto thumbtacks?
Oh my god, I don't think that would be my thing.
Your jam. That
That
would be
would
your
not be
move.
my champ. No, I'd be like,
Sure.
pass. Um, who knows? Maybe I would though. And then my number 1 is definitely The Sandlot.
Okay.
100% because
Which is
they were
funny because
just
it's a team. but
Yeah.
kind of like not. It's interesting. But what about
But
finish up? I'm sorry I interrupted.
no, you're fine. They were the best of friends, just going
Yeah.
out and playing sports and playing, and then afterwards they would go and get into shenanigans.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. They just seemed like they were having the most fun ever. And I think growing up, I was always like, man, I wish I had the Sandlot.
Counter.
Yeah.
Counter to your Sandlot. I get what you're saying. Counter. They only played one game. Otherwise, they only practiced.
Well, they weren't like,
Practice is the worst part. No, they were only that was practice to them. Like that was Benny practicing. They
yeah.
only played one game as a team. I'm saying they were a
Hmm.
great team. I think they might have been an all-timer. A what if team,
Yeah.
Imagine if they got in the league together and, if there was like AAU or something like that or tournament teams back then,
Yeah.
they could have crushed.
They definitely would have crushed.
But
Yeah.
that was
You
just
might
their
be
summer practice.
right.
That was their summer practice team.
I
I'm
know.
not taking it. I'm letting you have it. I'm just saying. That's my counter for that one. That's maybe why I wouldn't pick that one.
Okay, but like I think I like the stuff around it though more than the sports. It was the friendship and the camaraderie and then
Hmm.
a little bit of baseball because, baseball's not that fun. So,
Especially when you're only practicing. Mhm. Actually, baseball practice was always a lot of fun. I always like baseball practice because you just
yeah,
hit and catch and stuff. Um,
might be more fun than the games.
yeah, this game's fucking stressful.
Yeah, it's
Games are
very
stressful
stressful.
in a bad way. Baseball was the most stressful to me. Like standing
Oh,
at the plate, it's like, ugh, I don't want to look like a dick. I don't want to get
well,
hit by. I wasn't really afraid to get hit by a ball, I guess, but
mom was just
um,
talking to me about softball and saying how like that was probably my best sport, and I was like, "Yeah, I was good at it, but I hated it. It was
yeah,
stressful."
yeah,
I pitched too, so like all eyes on me
stressful as well.
always. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
good
funny.
though. I was a badass.
You're a badass.
Yeah, I was. I was
I
good
don't
at
know. I
softball.
didn't see you play a ton,
Mhm.
but when
You're
I
too
did
busy
not
on
enjoy it.
AIM.
Yeah, I was on a by the really when you were playing softball. I don't know if I was on AIM yet.
Yeah, I
That was a
played
high school
softball.
thing.
Mm,
You didn't play high school softball,
no, I didn't. I
did you?
quit. I quit.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I didn't. AIM didn't exist till we were in high school.
Biggest
Um,
regret of my life.
that AIM didn't exist until high school.
No.
That you quit softball.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. I quit baseball by high school too. Um, cool. That's not bad. I like that. Top three of those. Hey, if you want to weigh in on this, email us at mellonfights@gmail.com and give us your top three, either moms on TV or fictional sports teams. Shit, it could be, doesn't even have to be a TV, or it could be like from a song. Like maybe you want to be, what's the one song? Casey at bat or whatever. Or what's this poem? Casey at the plate or something. Casey at the bat.
I don't have
And he
any
like
clue what
strikes
you're
out.
talking
Maybe you
about.
want to be on that team because it's funny to see some dumb kid strike out a bunch. Um, so right, like maybe like a half hour before this started, I texted Tara to watch. We're going to talk about a couple things here. To watch the new Kendrick Lamar music video, which is called off the top of my
Love
head, I'm
Part 5.
forgetting. Love Part. Was it?
Love Part 5.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Love Part 5?
Mhm.
No, it's longer than that. The Heart
Hmm.
Part 5.
Oh.
I sent it to her. I sent it to her, the heart, and I said, "Hey, watch." I said, "Watch this before we record." And the first thing back to her was like, "Do you want me to watch all the other parts first?" And I went, "Huh? What?" And so she thought there's four other parts to this music video. She also called it the Kendrick Lamar thing, which it's just a music. It's his new music video for his new song, and she should watch all the other parts to it first.
There are more parts.
No, it's just the one song. Just a song. That's just the name of the song.
True, I saw there was like other YouTube videos that said part 1 through 5.
No, that's just the music video. That's the song.
All right, well, we'll have to do a little more research.
That's the name of the song. That's just the name of the song.
I
That's
don't
just the
have.
name of the song. It's just the name of the song.
We'll see.
Just Google it. New
I
Kendrick
can't
Lamar
right
song.
now. Yeah, but
Why?
there's other if you go to like the other YouTube things, it shows more. It says
No, it
like
doesn't.
part Drew, I'm not lying.
The Heart Part 5 is just the name of the
There's
song.
I know, but there's more cuz I just looked up Kendrick and it says the Heart Part 2. So, you're wrong and I'm
What do you mean you
right.
just looked it up and says the part 2?
This says Kendrick Lamar, The Heart, all parts 1 through 5. It happened 5 hours ago.
It's just one song.
Drew,
They're dumb.
part
People are dumb and posting it. It's just
No, and it's like 23 minutes long. Ah,
these are like it's just I just sent you a thing to watch a brand new music video. That's all it
I
was. Anyway,
know.
that's the point. It doesn't matter. It was just the music video, and that's the name of it. Like there
I
might be other things he has done called that, but that is what came out like yesterday. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You watched it, yes?
I did.
And what did you think of it?
I thought it was cool.
Hot.
Um I I thought
Mm-hmm.
that it was really interesting. Well, okay, I'm going to tell you something first. So, I first started watching it and I was blow drying my hair
I asked
and
you to watch a video and you blow dried your hair during it.
yeah. So, but wait.
What the fuck?
So I was
That was a
blow
fuck out of anger.
No, so I was blow drying my hair and I was like, "Well, I can't hear it." And I just let it keep going and I was like just watching it like without sound and he was like really performing and I was like, "Oh, he's such a good performer." And then all of a sudden I was like I kind of took my eyes away from it cuz I'm like, "This is stupid. I don't know why I'm doing this," but it was still going on. And then I looked over again and I'm like, I didn't realize Kendrick Lamar looks so much like Will Smith. And then I'm like, okay. So then
Mm-hmm.
I like
Mm-hmm.
then I kept doing my hair and then I started watching it and I'm like, oh, he's like his face is changing. That's why he looks like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Um
So did you rewatch the whole thing
yeah, I
then?
rewatched it a couple of times because I I really enjoyed it, and I felt like I needed to watch it more than once to really let it sink in.
So what was your takeaway from it? Like you watch the whole thing, what's your biggest takeaway from it?
Um, he's talking about the culture.
Yeah. I'm not asking you what it was about.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
did
I
you
don't
have a
know
takeaway? You didn't watch it and have a feeling like, oh, the first thing I said is how like my
how.
takeaway was these deep fakes are fucking insane. And like the fact that they can fake someone's face that well is
Yeah,
terrifying. That's what I took from it the most. Like, we're gonna get to the point here where we can't trust shit.
I
Because that was
know.
so realistic. I mean, there was parts of it that looked a little wonky, but
It's just like
it's new
seamless.
technology, really. Like
Yeah.
it looked great. It was like, yeah, that's those people. That's OJ Simpson.
Oh
The only
yeah.
one that didn't really work for me was OJ Simpson because I know OJ Simpson has a giant fucking head.
Uh
Like he's
huh.
a big blockhead. But everyone else, I'm like, yeah, that could be them.
Yeah.
Like that's what I took from was like deep fakes are terrifying. Like I'm not going into the message of the song or anything like that. It was interesting and I enjoyed listening
Yeah.
to it and it was like, there's something there that that's not really that's not really what we talk
Sure.
about on this podcast, but to me it was the deep fake being so realistic. Like it's the most real I think I've seen it yet. Or I was like, man, this is bizarre. And I knew it was Kendrick Lamar and it still didn't look like Kendrick Lamar.
No. It was awesome though. Like, cause like
Oh,
I
it's a
said,
cool video.
when I first was watching it, it didn't have sound on it. I really wasn't paying attention. And then when I watched it, and it was just so seamless on how it went from him to somebody else's face.
Yeah.
And it looked just like him. And they
Mm-hmm.
had the emotions looked like the emotions of that person, and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't like distort at all. And
Mm-hmm.
then like when he went into like Nipsey Hustle, and it was just like the
Yeah.
tattoo on the fit, everything was just
Everything.
wild.
It's terrifying.
It is.
That's what I'm taking from it. It's terrifying. We're not gonna be able to trust anything we see. It's gonna suck. Because people already distrust things that are real.
I know,
So
it's
what are we gonna
kind
do
of
when everything's fake? What are we gonna do?
it's kind of like the Terminator, where it's like he has
Mm-hmm.
skin and
Yeah.
he and it bleeds, but
Yeah.
inside he's a cyborg that wants to kill you because you're
Well,
human.
technology is gonna take over the world, Tara.
Well,
You
that's
know, there's a lot of people that think that this is a simulation already,
yeah.
and there's like pretty good. I'm not like really into it, but there's arguments for it.
I know. It's one of those like conspiracy theories that I'm like, I don't believe it, but like I could believe it, you know?
Right, but you're right. It's more like the Matrix thing where it's like it's it's everyone's like, oh, look at this glitch. That's how you know it's the Matrix. Like, no, it's the crazy thing is it would be so good because we wouldn't even know we were in it, sort of thing. Like it's
Hmm.
trippy, it's weird, um, but we wouldn't know. I don't think we're in it. I don't think we're in one. I don't
No.
feel that way. I feel like I have too much um self awareness
Hmm.
to for that to be the case, you know.
Hmm.
And I'm too mediocre at shit. I feel like if it was a simulation, I'd be a lot better at things. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. So that was my take from the like Kendrick Lamar thing. It was a cool video. I'm excited for his new album, but I thought the music video was really done well. The fact that it's kind of a thing I wanted, like a thing I always wanted to do this movie where my face would change. Like it was a long shot of like a interrogation. My face would change. By the end, I'd be like basically someone else, sort of thing. And it clearly it's doable now with
Hmm.
technology because that looked crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, do you have anything that you had written down you want to talk about? We're pretty far in already, so maybe if you have something really important you want to talk about, or we have a grievance, whatever you want.
I don't really have anything.
I got to come up with something for you to watch.
Oh yeah.
I had something and I forgot what it was now. But what do you got? Do you have a grievance?
The only thing I really thought of, and I don't, Drew, it's terrible. I need to start writing down my grievances because I don't know if I've already grieved these things.
Sure.
Um, but what I thought about today is because it's so beautiful outside and we had some like beautiful days.
Yeah.
I'm worried that I already said this as a grievance. Let me know if I did.
I don't know
Um,
what it is. So.
uh, People that say they are cold weather people are liars.
I mean, I don't think we've done it on this show. It's definitely something we talk about as
And
a brother and sister a lot, but yeah.
that's my grievance because I saw how happy people are that it's nice outside. And I'm
The
like, you
world
lie.
changes when it's nice out.
Yes. Everyone's
Anyone that
happy.
says that they like cold weather better is a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting the things your body needs when it's cold out. You're not getting the sun.
Yeah.
You're not getting fresh air. You're stuck inside. Like cold weather sucks.
It
It is
does.
depressing. That is when people are at their saddest. People who say it are almost like I don't know why they say it, Tara. Why are they saying it?
I think people like to be cold when they sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so they like confuse that with liking cold weather better.
Yes, being comfortable while you sleep is
Mm-hmm.
nice. I like it to be a little brisk. You don't want to be hot when you sleep.
Right.
I'm
Like
with
it's
you.
nice to like cuddle up in a blanket and sleep. So
But that's
if
the
it's
beauty of
air
of
conditioner.
of of air condition in the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Air condition. That's the beauty of summers. You can either be air conditioned or outside in the beautiful weather. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like I get it. Sometimes you want to be sweaty all the time, but I don't mind being sweaty. That's I just don't care. I like to sweat.
I do
I like
too.
sweaty. I don't care if my sack's a sweat storm.
Ew. Oh my gosh.
Don't picture it.
Mom was telling this story about when she was in New York and it was like one
Mm-hmm.
of the hottest days, and they did a bus tour, and for some reason she decided to wear like shorts that were like gray and sweat material. So when she stood up, she looked like she wet her pants. I'm like, Mom, why would you ever do that? Like, wear black on days like that. You can't tell that you're
Yeah.
sweating like crazy.
I've gone through. I used to have a couple pairs of shorts where I'd sit down, like at like for a long football game or something like that. I'd sit and I'd stand up and I just have sweaty
Ass.
legs,
Ugh.
sweaty ass legs, and it just like was, especially down by the knees and stuff. I was like, this is the worst. Like, ugh, gross. But I would
But
take that any day than sitting there and think I was gonna die from the cold at a football game. Like stand
yeah.
up, like I'm gonna die. Like also was at the end, I was a little embarrassed. I was like, I'm a little sweaty. But I can't even enjoy the game when I'm at. I'm like, man, I hope this game's over soon because I'm fucking cold.
mm-hmm.
You know, like when you drink in the winter, it's to almost stay warm. When you drink in the summer, it's to stay loose.
It's just yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly it.
So I'm with you there. I think that's a great grievance. I am proud you're my sister with a grievance like that. I'm just gonna say that.
Thank you.
Um, so I have an idea. I realized why I wanted you to watch because we talked about it. I thought we had you watch it, but I want you to watch. You hadn't seen Kill Bill yet, right?
No, I have.
You said.
I
I thought you
have.
said you hadn't.
Nope, I have.
What the fuck? I thought maybe it was Miranda that hasn't seen Kill Bill. I thought maybe you both hadn't seen it.
No, I've
Damn
seen
it!
it.
I thought I had one. Well, shit. Have you ever seen Rounders?
No.
Rounders, it is. It's on HBO Max.
Perfect.
Do you know
Who's
what
in it?
Rounders is? Ooh,
Uh-uh.
here we go. Do you know what Rounders is?
No.
I'm gonna start telling you about it and tell me then once you know what it is.
Okay.
Matt Damon's in it.
No.
Edward Norton's in it.
No.
They play poker.
Oh, is Vince Vaughn in it?
No.
Oh, okay. What am I
But it does
thinking?
seem like something Vince Vaughn might be in. Vince Vaughn's in Swingers.
Swingers. That's it.
No, Rounders is like a poker game thing.
What's Swingers?
Swingers is John Favreau and Vince Vaughn go to Vegas. They live in like LA and they go to Vegas for the weekend and they just party and they think they're gonna get
Okay, so it's like
laid.
Vegas.
Vegas. Say it right.
Vegas?
She says Vegas weird, everyone. She says Vegas instead of Vegas like everyone else does. She
Vegas?
goes Veg. She goes Veg. Everyone else goes vague.
Okay.
Vegas. I don't know. I'm saying it weird now. It all sounds made up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna watch Rounders. That's good. That's a good one. That's a fun one.
Good.
It's real different than the last two because I don't want you to have to watch Terminator back to back unless you want to.
Nah, I think I'll wait a little while.
Totally different movies. Totally different movies. I will
How
say that.
many years apart were they?
Good question. Maybe 5.
I'll wait 5
Something
years
in that
then to
range.
watch the
Not
next
super.
one.
They're not super far apart. What was that? You're gonna wait 5 years to watch it?
Yeah, because I want
No, they're
it to be
time
like
travel. They're
the
time travel movies. So
well, I want it
I
to be
don't know
like
that
the
was 5
original
years.
experience.
I honestly don't remember how far apart they were. But watch Rounders.
Okay.
Rounders is one I'm probably actually gonna watch soon with Miranda. She hasn't seen it. It was like that. It was that and Good Will Hunting. Which have you seen Good Will Hunting?
No.
Oh shit. Let's go with Rounders. Rounders is more. Good Will Hunting's a better movie, but Rounders is more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, watch Rounders. It's a fun movie. I think you'll have good takes on it.
Okay.
You might hate it. You actually might hate it. That's why I might like about it. Because you're like, what the fuck are you making me watch this for?
Yeah.
Not because it's like, scary or like gross or anything like that. You just might be like, this is dumb.
I
I
like
think
a
you'll
dumb
like
movie.
it because Matt Damon and Ed Norton are good actors, so I think that part of it you'll like. Cool. So that is the end. Unless you have something else you want to talk about, is there anything we missed that you want to just real touch on? It's okay if we go a little longer today. I had to up our hours because we were coming up on it, so I had to pay a little more, but that's fine.
I don't really think so. I'm looking at my notes. We pretty much touched on everything except for baseball, but baseball sucks.
I don't care about baseball.
There's too many games and I don't care yet.
Yeah, if something
So,
happens that's big, we'll talk about it. But right now, it's just
yeah.
the baseball going on. There's like nothing to talk about. It's nothing like crazy going on. No one's having like a monster early season, and we're
Mm-mm.
not far enough in where someone's having a big season. And nothing like really crazy's happened, like a crazy fight or all the crazy stuff going on last year with like pitching, and they're like, oh,
Well,
you're the sticky stuff on their hands and stuff like
there's
that.
a little bit going on with pitching.
What?
Like people are getting hit a lot more in the pitch, like because they changed the balls. So like the balls are like they can't use the
Control them as
stickums
well.
and they can't control them, so they're hitting them.
They're hitting guys like by
Hmm.
like a lot more or just like
I
a
think
small percentage.
I think quite a bit more because like all the pitchers and the batters are complaining about it.
Hmm. Yeah, not that interesting, honestly. It's baseball. You're right, but no
I
one's.
know.
Well, I don't have a take on it, so whatever. Like whatever, they'll figure it out. They'll get used to it. That's my again. There's so many games they'll figure it out,
I
or
know.
they'll go back to the old, or they'll go back to the old baseballs. Who knows? So yeah. Anyway, that was this week's episode of Mellon Fights. I think we're gonna be one a week for a few more weeks because we're both going to be gone out of town. So we're not going to be able to get like two in a week. We're probably actually going to have to maybe record a couple on the same day for you guys, just so you have them for the next 2 weeks after this. Uh, but yeah, check us out at Mellon Fights. No, I'm sorry. Our email is mellonfights@gmail. Reach out to us, please. Anybody. Say anything.
Yeah.
Uh, tell us your three favorite TV moms. Tell us your favorite what sports teams you'd want to be a part of. Not your favorite, is what ones you'd want to play on and why, maybe. And maybe I'll read your email. Who knows? And then follow us on Andyland Entertainment on both TikTok and Instagram. Andyland Entertainment. Um, I am Drew.
And I am Tara.
Have yourself a Tuesday.
You have yourself a Tuesday.
Have a fucking Tuesday.
Oh, are you angry?
I'm pissed. Have a Tuesday.
Have a Tuesday.
All right.
Mm.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Melon
Melon
fights.
fights.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I do like to see where that ends up at the end now, because sometimes it nails and sometimes it's not even close.